Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and we are doing a zodiac reading here for Gemini for the month of September 2023. Now, I've been guided by Spirit to communicate to you how the energy for September is going to be pretty intense here and interconnected in many different ways. So if you haven't done this in a while, you might want to listen to all the zodiac signs. Of course, if you don't have time, totally get it. But there's something here about there being multiple, if not half the signs kind of resonating in an energetic way here for you. And it might not even be your sign, Gemini, here. So whatever those signs are that are really resonating for you, that's a frequency I'm tapping into, might be the signs to listen to going forward, at least till the remainder of the year here. And obviously, depending on your birth chart, where you get it done, if you have a slight time variance when you were born, there's so many factors here that you could be listening to the wrong sign and might not be resonating here for you. So what are we going to do? We're going to ask Spirit here for some information for Gemini. What energy is Gemini supposed to encompass here for the month of September? We'll look at your overall energy, what you don't see coming, challenges, opportunity, and then we'll get some advice as well from Spirit. So what do we have? Well, we have repairing the veil, forgiveness. So Gemini, we're working on forgiveness. This has been a theme here for you since I've been kind of doing these zodiac readings here for forgiveness, but this feels soft. Okay, this feels soft. I think you've come a very long way here in your ability to forgive the situation here, and look at all the ribbons here. So many attempts here, and maybe you've been let down many times here, but look at that beautiful bow at the bottom. So I think things are definitely in a place here where maybe you've found this blissful place of allowing yourself some sort of forgiveness, or you're right kind of on the stage of learning what true forgiveness is about here, and learning that lesson kind of as a final thing before you could put a bow on it here and say it's good to go. Yeah, repairing the veil. You're working through something here. Let's take a look at your overall energy here, Gemini. What's the overall energy for Gemini, Spirit? Overall energy. Yeah, Spirit's wanting you to come from a place of forgiveness here. Before you act. It's like coming from a place where you've given it thought, right? Because it's easy to get reactionary potentially in situations. So we got the Seven of Wands, we got the Magician, and we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Oh, God damn it, Gemini. Why do I always see reverse Queens of Swords in your reading? I mean, I know you're the Queen of Swords, but you know this is my bitch card, right? Like, what is it here that's making you bitchy? I think you're a little defensive. I think you're trying to manifest something, and maybe, you're like, people who fuck around with your manifestations are pissing you off. Maybe you're pissed off. You've been trying to manifest something here, and you're like, why do I gotta overcome all these freaking obstacles here? But you're in the higher ground here. You're in a position too, and I feel like you're coming from a really good place here, because look, sacral chakra. This is somebody who takes accountability. Someone who is empowered, someone who has the higher ground here to fight for something here. And I feel like you've been trying to manifest something here, but why is it that we're upset or angry or bitchy about something here? And we're having to, again, we're being told by spirits to encompass some type of forgiveness. And this energy has no patience. This energy doesn't come from a place of forgiveness. So let's see why or what you don't see coming. We'll clarify all this as we go along, but we're going to see what you don't see coming here, Gemini. We have the Emperor and the Six of Wands and the King of Pentacles coming out. All right. Well, two of my big ego cards here. If we see the Sun, I think we're done. Two ego cards here, and then we see this King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have Virgo coming out in the Magician, and then, of course, Aries with the Emperor here. What you don't see coming. I think there's success here that I don't think you were expecting. And it could very well be success because maybe you've been kind of really standoffish here about something here. but there is an energy here I feel around you. And I think this is a pretty solid energy here. I think this is a winning type energy. And maybe because of all this ego that you're feeling, you might be thinking this is coming from a non-genuine place, maybe. I don't know. I feel like you don't know if you can trust it, is what I feel. Like you don't know if you can trust it. Okay, so we'll clarify, like I said, but let's take a look at your opportunity here, Gemini. Let's look at the opportunity for Gemini. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Sun. What did I say? If I see the Sun, I'm going to run. Lots of ego around you. You know, I'm not saying it's your ego. I think that's what's pissing you off, in fact. I think that's what's pissing you off because you're trying to manifest something here, and maybe you're having to fight with fucking people with egos here. But remember, forgiveness. So maybe we don't understand these people, right? Where they're coming from, and that's why we don't trust them. But anyway, so your opportunity is you're slowly moving towards success here. I feel it is slow. And I feel like you're needing to maybe ask yourself the right types of questions here, because maybe you're just completely in this type of energy where you don't even want to be curious or step towards any energy that represents anything that looks like an ego here. But Spirit is saying take your time towards here an understanding, because I think there's something you're going to get a full understanding of that maybe you're still learning. You're still kind of getting information here and learning before you can have true enlightenment and clarity about something here. And it's going to take a lot of time. Like, it's the journey here, right? So forgive yourself, forgive the energies around you. If something slips, I mean, it's still in a learning stage here. There's a long way to get from there to there. Okay, and Spirit is saying the opportunity is for you to take your time. There's no rush here to get from point A to point B here. That is the opportunity. So let's look at the challenge here for you guys, Gemini. What is the challenge? Justice, the Moon in reverse, and the Nine of Wands in reverse. So what's the challenge? I think the challenge is remaining in a state of forgiveness here, or some sort of balanced energy, because, you know, if we're in this energy, because that is coming out in your overall energy, it's like, how can we bring about this? You know, this doesn't live in an energy that looks like this. So I think you're trying to manifest something here. I think it's coming from a good place, but maybe externally are we in this type of an energy and not realizing it? So we might need to ask ourselves. So your challenge is really to find that balance, right? That balance between how we're showing up, regardless of maybe what's going on the outside. So instead of lowering our vibration, we might raise our vibration. And now there's an imbalance because we're dealing with low energy, high ego, but eventually those fall away. So there's a need to find out how to bring a sense of balance and justice here. And again, Spirit's saying lower that guard, lower that defensiveness, because if we're in this and we're guarded, then it becomes, you know, challenging for us here to be able to forgive and come from a place where we can raise our vibration. The Moon in reverse. So it's interesting because in your opportunity, we have the Learning card, which is the Page of Swords here, and the Sun, which is about enlightenment at the end of the day, getting certain. Your challenge here is coming out of a state of not knowing and maybe seeing things a little bit differently here than how they are. You know, maybe we can't get past the egos, like seeing someone's ego here, or we can't get past something, so we're kind of stuck in that mindset of seeing that, or seeing what it was that happened, which doesn't mean it didn't happen, but just means we're seeing it in a different way, or perception about what happened here. You know, like we're camping and we see a thing move in the dark and just be like a raccoon here, and then all of a sudden by, you know, 5 minutes later we think it's a bear or some scary thing that we blow out of proportions, like making mountains out of molehills, seeing something that isn't really there, and then it causing some sort of fear here within us. So Let me pull on the glow in the dark tarot here for clarifiers. We're going to get clarifiers here for your overall energy now. We're going back. Seven of Wands, Magician, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Spirit, can we clarify this energy for Gemini? So we have the Queen of Swords coming out now in the upright. It's your energy. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And then we have the Seven of Wands coming out again, and we have the Two of Swords in reverse. Look, the universe. It's not me reading cards, it's the universe here, okay? Clarifying. Now we have it in the upright. All right, so, and the Two of Swords in reverse. So, does this mean? Well, I think you're definitely in a position to stand your ground here, but it's how you go about standing your ground. I think that matters. Because we're having repairing the veil. So it's all about how do you act in that moment. Because there is a way to be Queen of Swords and have boundaries and be intelligent about something without this. So maybe you're not quite sure. Yeah, that's your challenge. I think your challenge here, Gemini, because I keep seeing this, is like, do you know how to be this? Or do you know how to be this or this? Like, only two things here. It's like, if I aren't very certain and clear and happy about something, I get into this bitchy energy. It's like, well, if you're not getting this happiness, this joy, and this complete certainty, can we not get clear about it? Can we not ask questions, still have healthy boundaries, right? Because, I mean, this is the boundary card here, too. This is having healthy boundaries. But this is not a healthy boundary. This is going to tell someone to go fuck off, and we never want to see them again. I mean, yeah, that's a boundary, but I think there's really a need for you to get very balanced with, yeah, even in the challenge here, another a boundary card, okay? So you're seeing boundaries everywhere. How do you lay boundary? Because I think you're in polar extremes here, and there's a need to show forgiveness. Now, I don't ever say forgive someone because I don't know what they did, and they could have murdered your whole family for all I know, but there's a need to understand a level of balance within yourself. So you don't have to talk to someone if you don't want to, or to forgive it. But I feel like what comes out is this Queen of Swords, when it doesn't need to be Queen of Swords like in reverse. It just needs to be Queen of Swords, right? Like somebody who is intelligent and can put a boundary there and be smart about how she handles it. So how do you get there? Well, I think the opportunity we saw was this Page of Swords. So I think to get to that Queen of Swords, maybe we got to start little here. Maybe we got to understand and ask questions, right? Because from a Page of Swords to a Queen of Swords, you might not be an expert at laying boundaries or asking the right types of questions here that don't seem defensive or don't seem come from a place of this, because I don't know that I'd want to deal with someone like this. But maybe you're dealing with someone with an ego, but maybe they have an ego because you're like this, right? So maybe you're seeing it as it's them with this ego, but it's you coming like this. So, I mean, it takes two, and obviously both of you guys are here fighting at odds here. So there's no cohesion, and there could be. So I feel like it's like stalemate, okay? But I feel like this in reverse, it's like dealing with their consequences here of inaction. So I feel like the inaction here is doing something different to get a different result. It's like, I'm going to constantly be in this energy, so therefore I'm going to have to suffer the consequences of my actions. What are the consequences of my actions or inactions? In this case, being like this, defensive, guarded, and angry, you know, gives me a result. You can flip energies if this is a person you're dealing with, but then what's the result is the opposite person comes in all with an ego, or has an ego, right? How do you manage this? So yeah, I think there's like two people here who need to check themselves before they wreck themselves. So let's take a look at what you don't see coming here, because we see Mr. Ego here, the Emperor, and the King of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. Let's clarify what you don't see coming. There is some sort of success here. Yeah, Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles. So not the Seven of Wands now, but seven's all about how we interact, how we engage. So something about how you come showing up here, what you don't see coming here. And this is like the energy of almost giving up here because we're not getting the results we need. And here, this is the getting emotional fulfillment. So what you don't see coming here is I think what you don't see coming is you have an opportunity here to invest and see how you're investing in something in order to get emotional fulfillment for yourself. But we have to address this because look, you came as what you don't see coming is now the Queen of Wands in reverse. Well, what's this? This is my other card here of somebody wearing a mask, somebody manipulative, somebody trying to play games in a way. And the Queen of Wands has an ego. Okay, has an ego as well, but maybe her ego isn't the same as the person she's dealing with, and maybe she doesn't recognize how her ego side comes out here because this is a very hidden shadow side. But I see what you don't see coming here is your need to really check how you're showing up. Are you showing up in your true authentic form here? Or this could be the person you're dealing with again, because ego's coming through and they seem almost impossible to deal with. But, you know, there's something about how it is we cultivate that relationship here that will bring about our emotional happiness, because we might not be able to control their ego, but we might be able to certainly control how we approach them. Right? Do we want to approach them like this? Or do we want to approach them like this? You know, do we want to approach them like this? Or do we want to approach them like from a place like this? Okay. So dropping our guards here. So, what am I doing? Oh yeah. We are looking at opportunity. So, what is the opportunity here for Gemini? What is the opportunity here for Gemini? I'm not going to deal with these cards right now. We're going to do the glow in the dark. So opportunity for Gemini. What is the opportunity? We got Temperance. Exactly. Temperance is the card we needed here. The Six of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Swords. So, opportunity. You have an opportunity to temper yourself here. Bring some sort of even keel here, Gemini. It's not everything or nothing at all. And I feel like you're stuck on something here. Okay, but I mean, your opportunity here is maybe this person, place, or thing of the past here that has you hung up. You know, has you hung up. You can't move away from, or you can't confront, or you're just not sure how to handle this situation here. This is very abrupt. I'm getting this abrupt energy, and maybe we say things we don't mean, or we say it last minute, or we're put in a position where we have to say something and it comes out wrong. It's like you have an opportunity to kind of find this even keel, this even balance. This brings healing within a situation here. Have compassion, have forgiveness on yourself and who you're dealing with here. Maybe they are egotistical. Maybe they are wearing a mask here, right? But I mean, what are we going to fight fire with fire? You know, it doesn't really bode well here. So let's take a look at your challenge here. What is your challenge for Gemini? We have the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles coming out again, and the Eight of Cups. So the challenge here is, yeah, I think how we invest in a situation here to find a sense of a more stable type thing that we can rely on and depend on here. Maybe this person is not very reliable that you're dealing with here, or maybe you feel like you can't set roots in some sort of way or give to something here that feels like it's not rooted properly. And your challenge here is to really go and ask yourself the questions of, you know, can I leave this situation? Because emotionally, I need to really figure out what is going to be stable. What is it that I want to put my energy and effort towards? Do I want to, you know, put it in a situation here and lay roots in something that feels, I don't know, like I don't feel like you're getting exactly this full emotional fulfillment at this point. I feel like your challenge is having to go through this Eight of Cups before you get to your Nine of Cups. But this is just soul work, you know. How do I temper myself? How do I get out of a reverse Queen of Swords and a reverse Queen of Wands here in order for me to give to a situation that could develop to something that is pretty solid here? Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. That's the challenge for you, Gemini. So let's get some advice. Yeah, let's get some advice. I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot here for the advice. Spirit, what's the advice here for Gemini? What's the advice for Gemini? Knight of Cups, Two of Cups, And the 5 of Swords in reverse. This is the, why the fuck am I putting up with this situation, or how the fuck do I deal with this situation? It's just all one big fucking headache. So what this card is in the reverse. So I think what Spirit is saying is there's a way to come out of that big headache. How do you come out of that big headache? Well, control. Sorry, it wasn't in reverse. It's like this. The control to temper a situation and find balance, I think, is in your approach. How you come. You know, if you come from a place of love and compassion and you're vulnerable and have your heart on the sleeve, yeah, you could get hurt, absolutely. But that's the only way we find out whether we're in balance with this person or not, or if we can find cohesion or not. We can't say, I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be like this. Like, I mean, you could be like this because you already experienced something here, but then move on then because you're in a state of this. I'm going to be like this until this person gives me a reason to change. And then this person's like swinging their big ego dick, right? Thinking that they're everything. And so they approach you like this. And so you get even more like this. But what the universe is saying here with the advice from Spirit, it's like, we don't need this. We've already experienced this. What we need is more of this. And find balance and healing in a situation here. And how do we do that? Well, we got to find forgiveness for one. We have to learn that we don't have to be always confronting in this type of an energy, right? So we could still be this when we need to be, but I think in order to find this, we have to come to heart and sleeve and be vulnerable and be open and susceptible to getting hurt, because that's what happens in relationships. And sometimes we're not hurt and we're thrilled because we find this, and that's how you find this, okay? But I think, Gemini, you're not listening to what feels good to do that because of a place of maybe you experience something that has hurt you, and rightfully so. Maybe you should, you know, should still feel pain and anger about it, but where does that get you at the end of the day? It's like Dr. Phil says, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And sometimes we got to forgive, even though maybe this person doesn't deserve a forgiveness, but at the end of the day, I mean, who are to say who deserves what? And then we find this, right? I don't know, but that's what's coming up in your reading, Gemini. Like I said, go take a listen to the other signs. There might be messages in there for you. I love you guys very much, and I will see you soon. Peace out.